Late. I apologize to the fans who have been anticipating this episode. However, I am human, and like most humans who are not Kryptonian, who are not Saiyan, who are not Thanagarian, who are not Themyscirian, who are not, super soldiers, who are not gamma radiated, who are not radioactive, who are not Asgardian, who are just not heroes in general. I am a human, and therefore we have stuff to do. But I was determined to get this out to you all, and I'm going to do that for you right now. Talking to a friend of mine this past week, my friend Greg Mobley. Shout out to Creative Artistry as well. Talking to my friend Greg, I think it was Thursday night, and we got on the subject of what cartoon should have been a movie by now. My response was Thundercats. Now, ironically, I had the idea that Thundercats should share a universe with Masters of the Universe and Silverhawks. Now, coincidentally, speaking about this to him, the He-Man film, Masters of the Universe, it has been pushed back. It was originally slated for December 2019. Now it'll be 2020. The exact release date has yet to be determined. But going back to the conversation I was having with Greg, I tried to imagine or even put together, I guess in a way, what a shared universe with Masters of the Universe, Thundercats, and Silverhawks would look like. Or at least how it would kick off. Here is my thought. So we start with the Masters of the Universe movie coming out next year. We open the scene, or opening scenes, we have a 8 to maybe 9-year-old Prince Adam, and he's walking into the chamber room, and he's seeing this heated argument or fight between his father, King Randor, and Randor's brother, Keldor. They're fighting over something like Keldor's treason or his practice of the dark arts. Keldor is then banished to the outskirts of Eternia to Snake Mountain. While in Snake Mountain, there his own magic backfires somehow and turns him into Skeletor. Years later, Adam is older. Something happens in his home and Adam somehow ends up in Castle Grayskull. Adam meets the sorceress, gets the power sword. Boom, we got He-Man. Great battle between Skeletor and his army versus He-Man and the other masters. Skeletor creates some magical energy bomb above Eternia's orbit. He-Man finds a way to knock the bomb into space or detonate it while it's in space. Put a pin in that. We'll come back to that. He-Man and the Masters win. Skeletor is banished back to Snake Mountain. Yada, yada, yada. Mid-credits, Adam talks to his father. Randor reveals he has a twin sister. Post-credits. Now here's where it's important. The debris from Skeletor's bomb hits an intergalactic prison, and you see an officer known as Commander Stargazer scrambling to a certain cell only to find this particular prisoner has escaped. Also, another piece of debris falls on a planet called Third Earth. A cat humanoid creature walks closer only to be called away from it. Lion-O, Come here, son. Fade to black. Tell me what y'all thought. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, blurs and nerds, freaks and geeks. This is DYSG, episode 5. All right, y'all. Thank you so much again. Like I said, I appreciate those of you who hung in and stuck in with me through this next episode, or this episode, I should say. Episode 5 has been a late one, but we're gonna give it to y'all by hook or by crook, by sink or by swim. We're gonna give y'all the best we got. So once again, thank you for all you all who are listening right now. I am Nix. My name is Nix. I am your host for Do You Speak Geek? As I said, this is episode 5. Thanks to everyone who has listened to all the previous episodes. Thank you to any and all new subscribers and new followers. As always, you can listen to this show at Spreaker.com. Spreaker.com is the hosting site of Do You Speak Geek? Shout out to Spreaker. You can also listen to the show on Google Play Music and iTunes. If you haven't already, follow us on the social medias. You can hit us up at Facebook at DYSG Media. You can follow us on Twitter at _Do You Speak Geek. And also Instagram at Do You Speak Geek. The YouTube channel, Do You Speak Geek, is still live and popping. That's where you can see episodes of the Daddy and Dono Show. Also, more content to come soon. Hit the subscribe, hit the like, flick the bell for all notifications, and please leave comments. We love comments. We want to know what you guys think. Also, the Patreon account is now live. We are accepting $1 a month for patrons. Hopefully, we will be moving forward with exclusive content sometime around, I'm going to say mid-May perhaps. Be on the lookout for that. You guys are going to enjoy it. If we here at Do You Speak Geek can make it happen. So, without further ado, as usual about this time, let's speak geek. Now, we got to talk about this because for some reason the internet and the people on it will not let it go. Zack Snyder tweeted out or revealed his choice for Darkseid, I guess at some point during the Justice League movie or at some point during the DCEU. His choice was Ray Porter of Argo and FX's Justified. I mean, when it comes to this Snyder Cut, I mean, maybe y'all feel different from me, but who cares at this point? I mean, who really cares about the Snyder Cut? You all really didn't care too much. And I'm not talking about you listeners specifically, but when I say you, I mean these fanboys out here who did everything they could, from memes to tweets to Instagram posts to Facebook rants, whether they were in Reddit, whether they had blogs, their own YouTube channels, their own content, creative places. They trashed everything this man did with the DC universe, whether it was Man of Steel, whether it was BVS. You guys trashed this guy, yet for some reason, the fanboys of the internet are still clamoring and want to see this Snyder Cut. I mean, are you guys just wanting to see it to trash it? Like, I don't see how people care so much still about this Snyder Cut and wanting to see it. Justice League was fine the way it is with the duality of direction from Snyder and Joss Whedon, I think. Personally, I don't see what was wrong with it that we need to see an all Snyder Cut. But at the same time, I mean, how old is Justice League now? 2, maybe 3 years old? It's at least 2. So I'm not sure why we're so concerned with wanting to see a Snyder Cut of a movie now, and we're so far removed from it. I just don't understand. I mean, me personally, if the Snyder Cut never gets revealed, I will sleep fine. Anyway, that's just me. That's just how I feel about it. If you all feel different, leave a comment. I'd love to know what you guys think. In, I guess, better news, we have details, people. We have details on the PS5, quote unquote PS5. Now, this is an interview that came out of Wired magazine with Mark Cerny, who is the lead system architect for the PS5. Now, in this meeting, he explained the console would definitely not be released in 2019 and demonstrated why this is a true next-gen machine rather than just a PS4 upgrade in the vein of the PS4 Pro. So far, what we have, like I said, is technically not being called a PS5 according to Cerny. Sorry. He explained that the console CPU is a variant of the AMD Ryzen 3rd generation, and that its GPU is a custom version of Radeon's Navi line. Now, for you PC gamers out here, this is just pretty much next level sort of computing here. I mean, the second generation has been out for about a year now. So what we're seeing and kind of hearing about this Picasso of a CPU is going to be kind of groundbreaking. That GPU is capable of ray tracing. Now, ray tracing is just simply a high-performance graphical technique with some incredible results, as you see with lights and shading. Is it completely capable of ray tracing and possible 8K support? We'll see. Sometimes that can be just smoke and mirrors, but, you know, we'll find out when this puppy drops. Now, here's the dope part. They showed off the power of the console's new solid-state drive with a practical demo. Now, according to Wired, fast-traveling locations in Insomniac's Spider-Man on PS4 Pro took 15 seconds. As you all remember, if you played Spider-Man, when you hopped on the train and go from one point A to point B, it took 15 seconds. Now, using this next-gen PlayStation Dev Kit, the same action took place in 0.8 seconds. I mean, to go from 15 to 0.8, impressed. Quite impressed. Having this on the boot drive is really going to make load times in a blink or in a sneeze. Now, also, we finally get the confirmation that the console will still accept physical media rather than taking a download-only or streaming-only form. So for you guys out there who are old school like myself and still like to go out and buy an actual copy of a disc, you're going to still be able to do that. Now, that ties into another aspect that a lot of you are going to be very happy to hear. The PS5 will be backwards compatible with all PS4 and PSVR games. I am more than happy about that. Now, although we don't know if it'll go back further than those generations, that's the question left up in the air. Now, another aspect that we have to look at here for PS5, it covers the fact that the new AMD CPU will allow for 3D audio with no extra hardware. Now, they're probably going to give you that same little rinky-dink one-ear mic piece until you actually go out and buy a real headset or real headphones. But this is going to be perfect for playing with headphones to get that, what's it called? I believe it's called binaural audio. Binaural audio. I think I'm saying that right. I'm not sure. With the next console, he explained the dream is to show how dramatically different the audio experience can be when we apply a significant amount of hardware horsepower to it, end quote. That's all we have about PS5. I'm a Sony man. I am excited about these details. I can't wait to actually see what this bad boy looks like. Hopefully we'll get some more details coming up towards E3. And hopefully we'll get a release date sometime soon. Moving on, we are going to the source wall. Now, DC's pull list is a little short this week. We have Teen Titans 29. Christopher Priest and Adam Glass continue to push the Titans team, while Deathstroke is still sinking his clutches deeper and deeper into the mind of Robin with these mind games. Like I said in a previous episode, I don't know what Deathstroke has about Robins, but he loves to mess with them for some reason. Speaking of Robins, the other pull we have is Nightwing number 59. Rick Grayson, aka Dick Grayson, aka the real Nightwing, is trying to function with the Nightwings, a team of cops who found a stash of Nightwing's older suits and are now the Nightwings. If you don't know what's going on that, go back and read those back issues. Also, check out the Batman issues before that to find out exactly why he is now called Rick Grayson. The Marvel pull list. We got War of the Realms 2. This is still picking up from War of the Realms 1 a couple weeks ago. It's getting good, y'all. I will say it's getting good. We've got Major X number 2. Rob Liefeld keeps the momentum going with this story. I'm happy to see him back in the saddle as far as writing and drawing comics again. We still have Spider-Man Life Story number 2. Chip Zdarsky hooked me last month, issue 1. And Mark Bagley gave us the Spider-Man art that we all deserve. This one is set in the 70s, so I hope you all like it. And we now have also Guardians of the Galaxy number 4. If you read this, be prepared. There's a possible, maybe even confirmed death in this one. In other releases, we have Charlie's Angels and a Bionic Woman crossover comic in Dynamite Comics. So if you guys feel nostalgic, if you're in the older brackets, or if you just want to read something new, check that out. I'm pretty sure Dynamite Comics will appreciate your support. Now we're going to go into Watch This. So we have a couple of stories here. Now, one is the Halo TV series has now found its Master Chief. This series is going to be a Showtime original series. And Pablo Schreiber of American Gods, Orange is the New Black, and Law and Order SVU has been cast as Master Chief. It's not certain if he'll remove the iconic helmet, but Showtime has promised to tell deeply drawn personal stories. So it's kind of hard to imagine Chief hiding his face forever. Production is set to start in the fall, and it's not certain when the Halo series will premiere. I'm excited about that. I'm not a big Xbox guy, but I do respect what Halo is and what it has done for the business of video games. So we're looking forward to that. We also have 2 new trailers. We have a second trailer for X-Men Dark Phoenix and a second trailer for Child's Play. Now, for Child's Play, it was not on my radar at first at all. I will be honest, because it was a reboot. I was not interested at all. And because it was a horror film, I definitely was not interested. I'm just not a horror guy. But when I found out that Mark Hamill was going to be the voice of Chucky, I was in. Plus, it don't hurt the fact that Aubrey Plaza and Brian Tyree Henry are in it, and they're just the icing on the cake for me personally. So, I'm looking forward to watching this one. Now, as far as Dark Phoenix goes, I got a few opinions. It's not just of the movie itself, but it's an overall opinion, period. Now, Dark Phoenix will be, I think, okay. Just as good as Apocalypse, but not better. Now, here's where I get on a soapbox for a second. Now, on a Hollywood politics level. I kind of understand why Jennifer Lawrence was made a central actress in this franchise, but I don't get why Mystique is, if that makes sense. Now, the character Mystique hasn't had her own book since 2003. Now, if the character isn't getting traction in the source material, then why is she being played up to be so intricate in the movies? I don't understand that. I think another thing, one of Fox's biggest issues with this mutant universe, that it was built around Lawrence's Mystique and, of course, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. To me, one of the biggest reasons the MCU works so well is that the entire franchise is not dependent upon one person. I mean, sure, there are central leads like Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans and Hemsworth, but for the most part, it takes the collective to make the MCU work. With Jackman, quote unquote, out, and Lawrence still holding on her Hunger Games star power, the franchise, I don't know, man. I think it needs to end, or it needed to end. You know, thankfully, Disney stepped in with their checkbook and saved the day. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but hopefully this will be, I mean, I think it is anyway. This is the last one that Fox will do under their imprint. And hopefully Kevin Feige is just pulling our leg and we're going to see some mutants sometime soon in the MCU. But that's another story for another day. Now let's get into Thumb Life. Thumb Life, we really don't have much right now. Right now here at Thumb Life, we're just anticipating the release of Mortal Kombat 11 and Days Gone. If you've all been following the videos that NetherRealm has been putting out on YouTube and other platforms with all the fatalities and the new school, old school video that you've all probably seen a few times, Mortal Kombat 11 is shaping out to be a premiere one. It's going to be, you know, I think we all sort of remember, you know, Mortal Kombat 1 was dope. Mortal Kombat 3 was dope. And Ultimate Mortal Kombat was dope. There are just so many of that series that stick out. And I think 11 is going to really stick out with this one. It doesn't even hurt the fact that the fatalities are the most gruesome that they've ever been. But I think this one is going to be a premier entry into the franchise of Mortal Kombat. I think NetherRealm is going to really outdo themselves with this one. I'm looking forward to that coming out, I believe, on the 23rd, coming up of this week. Days Gone, man, I think that's going to be a great one as well, too. Hopefully the gameplay feels good as far as by way of controls. That one's going to be on the 26th. Looking forward to that. I've seen some demo play where the lead character is running away from what seems to be a sea of zombies. And the tricks he's pulling out of his pocket to get away or just to kill these hordes and hordes of zombies, it's going to be for some very addictive gameplay. And I am looking forward to that so much. We have some other news here as far as by way of technically speaking. Now, technically speaking, it seems as though the new Samsung Galaxy Fold is having a few, how should I say, structure issues. Now, there was one reporter from CNBC who stated that they looked into the future of what the Samsung Galaxy Fold could be and was amazed by what it could be until the phone actually broke. I mean, who kind of didn't see this coming? These phones are slated to be released on Friday in the US, and the phones are breaking already. A lot of people are reporting that it breaks after a day. Now, I don't understand how Samsung messed this up. I mean, I do understand how they messed it up. I do understand how they messed it up because I, like a lot of people, was involved in the, I guess, smuggling of explosive devices known as the Note 7. And I don't know. It's like, I don't think they really thought this through with the folding screen. I still kind of want to see one. I don't want one by any means. Not because just of the screen breaking, but even when I first saw the phone, I'm like, yeah, that's nice, but no way. I don't want one. It just looks weird. I don't get it. It's like it folds from a phone to a mini tablet. When you flip it, the screen flips with you. I don't know. I need to see some improvements to this tech before I jump in and actually want one. But we'll see if anything happens. I'm predicting a recall on this one, just like with the Note 7. But we'll see what happens. No other news that we have. We have a few announcements by way of upcoming Comic-Cons. We have Awesome Con next weekend. We have it in Washington, D.C. from the 26th to the 28th. Celebrities Cole Sprouse and KJ Apa of Riverdale are going to be there. Luke Cage himself, Mike Coulter, will be in attendance at Awesome Con. John Bernthal from The Walking Dead and the posthumous Netflix's Punisher will be there. You got Ralph Macchio, William Zabka, and Martin Kove of the Karate Kid and YouTube's Cobra Kai series. The Voice Gods, Tara Strong, Phil Lamar, Greg Sipes, and Sean Shamel are going to be in attendance at Awesome Con. You've got Marina Sirtis, you got Jonathan Frakes, Gates McFadden, Brent Spiner, Amy Jo Johnson, Milo Ventimiglia, I think I'm saying that right, Danielle Panabaker. You have cosplayers Lua Stardust and May Weezy. You got the Icon Sting and a gang of comic creators. David Finch, Greg Capullo, Kyle Higgins, Amy Chu, Tom King, Peter Tomasi, Marguerite Bennett, Lee Weeks, and the legendary Neil Adams, plus so many more guests. If you are going to be in DC this coming up weekend, please get your tickets and get there. If you are going to be there, have a ball on me. The other con we got coming up next weekend is the Calgary Expo. That's going to be the 25th and 28th in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. If you're going to be in attendance there, here's some of the people that you're going to see. From the new Shazam film, we have the stars themselves. Zachary Levi, Asher Angel, and Jack Dylan Grazer will be in attendance. We have James Tolkien, Tom Wilson, Leah Thompson, Christopher Lord, and Michael J. Fox from the Back to the Future trilogy. They will be there in attendance. We have Sean Astin, Corey Feldman, and Ki Hu Kwang of the Goonies. They will be in attendance. Tom Welling and Michael Rosenbaum from The Greatest Show Ever, Smallville, will be there. Yes, I said it. Smallville is the greatest comic book show ever. At me if you want to. Come get this smoke. I will argue you down. At me, please. Let's argue. Smallville, the GOAT show. What? Yeah, I'm asking for beef. But anyway. Voice talent greats Peter Cullen and Frank Welker. We got Optimus Prime and Megatron respectively from the old school 80s Transformers. They're going to be there. Also, we have Maurice LaMarche and Rob Paulson, respectively, of Pinky and the Brain. They're going to be in attendance at the Calgary Expo. Cosplayers Night Mage, Vamp, Leon Chiro, and Nadia Sonica will be in attendance. Also, creators legendary Adam Kubert, Willis Portacio, Jose Luis Garcia Lopez, Ed Brisson, Renee Nault, Matt Kent, Joe Jusko, and more will be in attendance at the Calgary Expo. That's all of my time for now, folks. Once again, I do appreciate you guys holding in there and waiting for me to drop this episode. Hopefully I won't be late next time. I can give it to you guys early in the morning like I normally do. As always, people, go to Spreaker.com. Follow the podcast. Like and subscribe to the videos. And it's not the videos, the podcast. See, it's late. I'm losing my mind, people. I'm losing my mind. Spreaker.com. That's where you go for the podcast. Always follow us on the social medias. Facebook at DYSG Media. Instagram at Do You Speak Geek. Twitter at _ Do You Speak Geek. Go to the Patreon, people. Again, it's only $1 a month. You could probably pull that out of the change of your Cash App. So Patreon, $1 a month is all we're asking here at Do You Speak Geek. And also the YouTube channel, where it's the home of the Daddy and Dono show and also future content to come. Go there, subscribe, like the videos, flick that bell for all notifications, and leave comments. We like comments. As I said, that's all my time. I'm getting up out of here. Again, as always, this is your host, Nix. I speak geek. Do you speak geek?